Hello, Michael here with Bear Coast Real Estate. I'm a real estate agent here in the Dallas area, and every Monday I give you a weekly update covering all of Dallas County. We're looking for trends, which cities and zip codes are the hottest this week. If you're maybe a seller, where are you going to get top dollar? Or if you're a buyer or investor in the market, which zip codes are the coolest? Where might you be able to get a good deal? We'll also be tracking mortgage rates, and we'll be looking at things like median list price, days on market, how many homes had price decreases, and inventory. If this sounds like something you're into, make sure and hit the subscribe button. And if you're looking to move in the Dallas area, whether it's next week or next year, I'd love to connect. I've helped every one of these yellow dots and then some find their little piece of Texas, and I'd love to help you too. Call, text, or shoot me an email. All that info is in the description below. Okay, it's April 17th, and the spring market is heating up fast. Let's see what the data is saying. Let's start with mortgage rates. Okay, last week was a 6.34%, and this week we're starting up a little at 6.61%, which is about where we were 2 weeks ago, so not a big change. I've made a prediction video where I think we're gonna see the real drop coming after the May CPI reading. So if you wanna see that video, hopefully it'll pop up somewhere for you to click. And again, as long as we can stay down around 6.5% or under, I think there's going to be plenty of demand for the amount of homes that we have for sale right now. It's very obvious that buyers are just getting used to rates where they are. They just know it is what it is. If they want to buy a home, this is where they're going to be buying. Okay, let's move on to housing data. Let's take a look at Dallas County as a whole. We do this using the Market Action Index. It's the easiest, quickest way to see what's going on in the market at a glance. This is a scale of how hot the market is from 0 to 100. Anything below 30 is considered a buyer's market, as historically only 30% of the time are we actually in a buyer's market. And anything above 30 here is just exactly how much of a seller's market are we in. And it takes into account all of these factors over here on the side and just puts them into one easy graphic so you can get it at a quick glance. If you'd like to get a report like this for your specific city or zip code, you can look way further into all of this data for yourself. And you can break down the data by your own city or even your specific zip code. Then you can break it down even further by narrowing in your specific price point. And then you can break down each category here. So it's super fun, it has a ton of data, and it's very easy to use. And I pay for this service so that you can use it for free. So take advantage of that. Consider it your early birthday present from me. So as we can see, we are up. It is a hotter market than it was last month. We're at a 54, and this is the Market Action Index down here. You can see it's been climbing for a while. We can see median list price has been climbing. Price per square foot took a little downtick, but that doesn't mean much. Median days on market had a little uptick this week, but it's just where it was exactly 2 weeks ago, right at 35. And 35 days on market is really low. So I would not think that's indicating anything slowing down. As well as you can see, only 33% of homes have had price decreases this week. Inventory still looks to be dropping a little, but it's definitely flattening out a lot more than it was back here, and this is what we want to see. We want to see it flatten out and then eventually start to climb as we get closer to the end of the year. But this is just the quick summary of the data showing what is obvious, that we're in a spring market, things are heating up, prices are going to go up, things are going to get more competitive. That's just what happens this time of year. And of course, as you've probably heard, we're already seeing a lot of multiple offer situations. I actually showed 3 houses this weekend, and all 3 of them went multiple offers. And those were all in 350 to 500 price range, to give you an idea. So the market is red hot. Don't take my word for it. Look at the data. Okay, now let's move on to the fun part, which is the ranking charts. And these charts are ranking out of all 84 zip codes in Dallas County. So the first row we're looking at, this is just data of which cities and zip codes are the hottest. The next row is going to be which cities and zip codes are the coolest. So starting out, let's see what changed from last week. The hottest cities is where we start, and these are 90-day moving averages. This last one that's real squiggly, that's a weekly average. So we don't rely very much on this. This is just for fun to see if your zip code happens to pop up in here. But this is not reliable data. If a city is on here as the hottest, it may never be on there again. So we really want to look at these two and these two, which are the 90-day moving averages. So starting out with our top 10 hottest cities in all of Dallas County. Grapevine, Lewisville, and Carrollton all retain their top 3 spots. Richardson, Texas moves up 3 spots. Sachse retains its spot. Irving the same. Balch Springs moves down 3 spots. Garland stays the same. Coppell jumps onto this list out of nowhere at spot number 9. And Grand Prairie jumps onto this list, knocking off DeSoto. And I also want to point out, you can really see how much this market is heating up by the way that it's going straight up. So good luck finding a home in Grapevine. Now let's move on to the top 10 hottest specific zip codes. And there are only 2 in the 80s so far. That's Grapevine 76051 and Carrollton 75007. Next is Irving 75063, then Richardson 75080. Lewisville 75063, Dallas 75252, Irving 75062, Garland 75044, Grand Prairie 75052, and Carrollton 75010. So those are the top 10 hottest. Out of all 84 zip codes in Dallas County, that's where the market is the hottest if you are looking to sell. And then just for fun, we like to look at the top 10 hottest zip codes just this week. So I'm not gonna read them all off. You can take a quick look, see if yours is in there. A lot of these were at 100, 96, 93, 93, and 90. Okay, moving on. These are the top 10 coolest, so let's see what happened with the cities. And don't let this list fool you because only the bottom 3 are under 40. And remember, the top 10 starts at 63.74 at the bottom of the list, and we're ending this list at 60.48. So all of these starting 57 and up, that's nowhere near buyer's market. Even 50 is not. Remember, 30 and under is buyer's market. So these are the coolest cities, but they're by no means cool. So let's see what happened with the top 10 coolest cities. Ferris, Texas, of course, is holding its same spot. Then Seagoville remains, Sunnyvale remains. Red Oak moves up 2 spots, which that's bad. You don't want to be high up on the coolest list. Dallas moves down 1. That's better for Dallas. Lancaster jumps on here out of nowhere. Mesquite remains. Wiley moves up a spot, which is bad. Cedar Hill moves down a spot, which is good because you want to fall off this list. And Rowlett stays exactly where it was last week. Moving on to the coolest zip codes. I'll let you look over these real quick so I don't have to read them all. Okay, and then we're gonna move on to the weekly coolest zip codes. And you can see 75253 was ice cold, as well as Ferris, Texas 75125. So remember, under 30 is a buyer's market. So this last week, all of these top 5 were acting like a buyer's market. And then these next 3 were very close. But again, that's just for this week. And again, if you live in one of these zip codes, for example, you could say, well, I live in 75235. Are things really that bad? You can actually go to your zip code and you can say, my house is around 430,000. So I want to look at this market segment. So we're going to break it down by market segments and we're going to shut off the top 2 and the bottom. And then we're going to go from median list price. We're going to look at our specific market action index just for our price point. We'll be able to see that our 90-day average, we're actually almost to a 70. So if you're around the 430 price range, you really don't have anything to worry about, even though your zip code was the coolest this week. Now, if we turn the rest of these back on, we can see the real one that's in danger is the blue, which is the top 90. So let's just look at that. So overall, if you're in the top, which is median price of about 800,000, then you're the one that's cooling off and you're down closer to a 40 over the 90-day period. So you can see why it's helpful to look at your specific zip code. Okay, moving on, let's look at inventory. And again, this is the weekly and this is the 90-day. So we look to the weekly to see if we can spot any early changes. Not a big change in a lot of these from last year, although see here on the weekly, you can see Dallas is starting to flatten out and even maybe turn up a little, where here it's just starting to flatten out. But look, Garland, Texas still going straight down. Over here as well on the weekly, inventory is still going straight down in Garland, straight down in Grand Prairie. But a lot of these other zip codes like Mesquite, Red Oak, Irving, Wiley is starting to flatten out. Rowlett definitely looks like it's starting to curve up a little. Richardson's flattening out, Carrollton's flattening out. So flattening out is good. So if you're looking in Garland, you don't want to wait because inventory is still dropping. Okay guys, I'd love to hear any thoughts from you. What do you think is going to happen in the market this week? Do you think there's any reason to believe things are going to slow down? Are you one of the people who believes a big market crash is coming? I'd love to hear why in the comments below. And remember, if you're looking to make a move in the Dallas area, whether it's next week or next year, I'd love to connect. Call, text, shoot me an email. All of that is in the description below. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.